Good evening and welcome to the Chama. I'm Grace and Salame. And on tonight's show, we have a very special lady who will be here exclusively to tell us about her new ambition. But before we introduce her, let's talk to the rest of the team.
Hi, good evening. I'm Kamal Kaur. You know the drill over here.
I can do your introduction.
Okay,
Chama loves being on TV. She chauffeurs her kids around. And what else? She's on Esther FM and we share a page on the stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Valentine writes a column, sex column.
Yes.
Yeah, sex. Peter Kenneth reads her. He doesn't read my stuff, but yeah. Anyway, and then Shad is going to jump in and tell us all about
Yes,
her
Sean,
PR
your
skills.
turn.
I am stunned. I'm permanently stunned by these wonderful women that I have the pleasure of working with. I do strategy, I write, I'm a mother, and I'm a friend. Yep.
Oh, and I'm Grace, a mother, a friend, and we'll get to know more about me as the show goes along. But now, let's stay tuned for our guest in studio. Keep it here. And welcome back. And as I promised, we have a special guest in studio, Miss Esther Passaris. Welcome to the Chama. Now, thank you. We know you are responsible for lighting up our streets and making this country safer, and through Adopt a Light project. Now you're venturing into something I could call new, but not really new because you've done this before. Why are you vying for the woman representative with this new parliament?
Because I think Nairobi deserves a choice. And I like the idea of giving them that choice because it was just one candidate that was standing out. Mm-hmm. Most of the other parties had not announced their women candidates.
True.
And then I had this thing that was bugging me when the court said that we will get 1/3 representation of women, that constitutional requirement was put aside. And funny enough, something concerning women, always put aside. And we're going to do this as we move along. So it was bothering me, and I was thinking, I have to join civil society. And that was what I was intending to do, you know, after the elections, join civil society, find a way to promote as many women as possible so that come 2018, we have women, 1/3 representation. You don't tell us we don't have enough women. We have women. The only problem is women are scared. And I also had to confront my fear.
Why
I mean,
are you scared?
Embakasi
Yeah,
was
tell
tough.
us, how was that experience?
I mean, first of all, I was thrown into the deep end. I'd never been involved in any political. You know, if you're involved in political activism, then you know what goes on the ground.
Yeah.
When the mayoral election didn't go through, and you know, to be quite honest, today when I look at what the council has achieved in the last 5 years, I say thank God I never went into the council because the council framework. No mayor could fix it. You need framework that you can go in and work. You need people that share your vision. You need a common goal. And you don't have that. You know, you've got underpaid councillors, and then you've got structures of corruption, and then at the same time, you've got a way of doing things. So you need to have the structures changed, either by strong laws in anti-corruption, or strong laws in the judiciary, or strong laws in the police force. You know, some of these structures have got to work so that the other structures complement each other. And the council, for me, even when we come up now with the Senate, it's not going to be an easy. It's not going to be an easy task.
Of course not.
I think the next 5 years we're going to be learning how to get things done right. It's a big, big bloated government, and I just hope that from the cost that we're going to give to the taxpayer, we're actually able to deliver something that they can say, wow, it was worth it to make it that big. I think it's too big. I mean,
So Esther, you're vying for women representative. Is there structure there? Because you're just talking about how important it is to have structure.
yes, I'll tell you what I like about the woman representative seat. You've got 47 counties in the country.
And
Each and every
needs a
county
woman.
is going to have a woman.
Okay.
And that woman is going to, now we're all going to be in parliament,
Okay.
all right? So we're legislative. We're going to be making laws. That's the position. You go in there and you look at laws. And I guess our focus will be on women. But when you're looking at the woman, you don't ignore the men, you don't ignore the children, you don't ignore the husbands, the youth. You have to look at everyone because a woman is all inclusive. She holds it all together.
She does.
So
She
I
does.
believe that the county woman rep, 47 of us coming in, and we're coming in elected. We're coming in elected. So that means you've not given it to us. We've not been nominated.
You've
that
earned
means
it.
you've earned it. All right. So there's also going to be nominated women. And then you've got special interests as well in the parliament. But I think, and then you've got the elected. You know, what would be nice to see is how many women who are running for members of parliament in the various counties actually make it through? How many women in Nairobi will be elected? You know, that will be a concern. Nairobi has 17 constituencies. What if all 17 are men? Then you only have that one woman that's a county rep. And then the others are nominated. Now, the danger about being a nominated candidate is that you have to listen to your party, because they can revoke your nomination.
They can.
You know? So you're held ransom. So they say jump, you jump. Or you say how high. You know? So I think being an elected person, you go in there, you've got the mandate of the women of your county. Indeed. So I hope that these 47 women across the country, once everybody has been decided, will get together and form an agenda for the country.
But do you think, is it still difficult for a woman in politics, like as we saw a few weeks ago with Mary Wambui, who had to fight her way to get her Othaya ticket or seat?
I mean, that was wrong.
It was.
That was wrong. I mean, if the people had chosen her, then they should have given her. But then, you know, this country, we have impunity. Everybody feels they can call the shots, forget what the people are saying. And I think they've realized. I mean, let me tell you something. The voice of the Kenyan masses is being heard, and it's actually determining how we're running our country. Indeed. What happened with Wambui in old Kenya, my dear, news would have been shut down. You wouldn't have all these other media houses. You had only KBC. So they will only show what you want to see, and Wambui would have been just a forgotten story. She has nowhere to go to court, the courts will hold her files.
So you're saying that's a good sign?
It's a good sign.
That means we will realize the one-third gender.
It is a good sign when the people have voted that we respect their vote. And I think right now, even in Nyanza and in Kisumu and all the areas that ODM had issues with nomination, and also the Jubilee Alliance had issues with the nominations, I think they're going to realize that even if you bring back the people that we rejected, my dear, that's nomination. You can do what you want, but on the ground, on election day, we will make the decision.
I like that.
Yeah.
So you ran for Embakasi before, okay?
Yes.
What did you learn from that?
I'll tell you one thing. First of all, the sadness was we got stoned quite a few times.
Yeah.
And we even got stoned last Sunday.
Uh-oh.
You know, we had gone to an area called Kware.
So that comes with the territory.
No, you know, I'll tell you what, it's poverty and unemployment. I saw it, even Martha Karua had mentioned that when she went somewhere, she was also held ransom. You see, what's happening is the youth are unemployed. They look at the politicians. You're coming, you don't come all 5 years, you're coming now, you're asking us for votes.
There you go.
All right, so we want something. We're going to provide you security because there's a lot of insecurity. You know, you can come in, talk to us, you know, and then it's protection fees.
Yes,
you know, it's protection. So, so basically, you find that if you don't hand it out, all right. So we're in this convoy. We're going to speak to you. We're trying to seek your votes. We're going to tell you what our agenda is, and then you refuse us to leave unless we give you something because you gave us protection. So the biggest problem is.
So you need to address that, the issue of unemployment.
I'll tell you one thing, and we can't address it now. Right now, the precedent has already been set. This is how we do it. When you come to talk to us, you know, we are the youth. Come on, don't leave us empty-handed. Wow. All right? We've said, we've listened to you. And unfortunately, this is how the politics of Kenya is. I mean, the IEBC can say, don't bribe, don't do this, don't do that. For me, it's still a form of bribery. It's still a form of bribery. Because you're paying that handout. Oh, it's a form of fear. I think for most women it will be fear. Because, I mean, when you're in a situation where you're being stoned... For
your security, you'd probably do it.
You're going to say, okay, fine, so how much do you want for the security? 10,000? Here. Thank you very much for providing it, sorry. Because you also don't want to make him hate you and basically go around and say, I'm not going to vote for you.
Okay, so fear aside, impunity and corruption you mentioned. You were with ODM. When you ran for the Embakasi seat.
Yes.
Tell us why you did to that party, and lastly, tell us which party you're with now and why you've joined them and why you've made it public so late with only a month to the election.
In 2008, I ran for Embakasi, and unfortunately, we still had a lot of tribalism, and we still have it right now. So it's something that we'll need to address over the years. I think civil society will have to come in and take that as an issue.
Is that why you left ODM? Is what you're saying?
You see, when I was running in. Confusion. And the confusion was seen even in the nomination process. When I was running for mayor, I was here with one of the party heads, with all the people, the councillors that we wanted to vote for us. At the same time, a very senior member of ODM was in Mombasa with another group. So I could see division within the party. So did I have the 100 support mandate of the ODM party?
You don't
all
feel
right?
like you
So
did.
I don't think that there was coordinated effort. All right? Okay. And we should have brought that together. If we're a party, we should speak with one voice.
Indeed.
All right?
So where
that was
now
one.
And why?
When I was running in Embakasi, you know, Embakasi, we had the council, the member of parliament, Were.
Yes.
Were was from the Luya community. He was a good friend of mine, and I'd supported his bid. And when Were died, the party called me and said, can you stand? And I thought, okay, I didn't go to the mayor to become a mayor. But if I go into Embakasi, the one issue that was really a concern for me was Dandora, the slum. All right, so I wanted to go in and sort that out, and I thought, okay, Embakasi is where Dandora, the dump site is. Yeah. Let me become an MP. But the thing is, we had a very senior member of ODM. At that time, it was Musalia, and Were was a Luya, and I wanted him to come and campaign for me as a party member of ODM. But he
because
didn't.
of your tribe, you think
No,
he
he didn't come because at that particular point, and I couldn't relate to this, and I can relate to it now, at that particular point, Were was a Luya, Were was a vote for him to strengthen his base. So he wanted Were's brother to become the member of parliament. So when I got the nomination, he never came and campaigned for me. So he was part of the party. I couldn't understand why the party leadership could not tell him, look, she won the nomination. Whereas brother didn't win the nomination, back her up. He never came once to campaign for me. So I was a bit disheartened because I think that would have made a difference.
It would have.
I was definitely rigged out and I was definitely stoned. And it's not surprising because the person who rigged me out and arranged for us to be stoned is still carrying stones.
So you're with a new party.
Yes, tell us about it.
Do you feel that you have loyalty and support there, and why did you choose them?
Let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about parties. Our parties are skeletons. They have no weight. They have no weight. Some of them are just 2 months old. So let's not talk about parties because we are not a nation. I'm with Kenya National Congress. That's the party that I'm running to. But I want to tell you that we have not reached the point where we have strengthened parties and you can be strong and say, I belong to this party and these are our values.
But it's a coalition.
Right?
You can tell
right now it's a coalition because Raphael Tuju's party joined and it became the Eagle Coalition.
So
all right, so this is the structures. This is the way things are done. So you learn from the big boys. So everybody forms a coalition, you get affiliations, and then you form a new name. So you have CORD, you have
So why are you
Amani.
supporting Peter Kenneth?
Why am I supporting? Okay, I'll tell you what. I was watching KTN one evening and I saw Peter Kenneth on a show with Louis Oteno, and I thought, listen in. And basically, I loved what he was saying. And then I thought to myself, it's so embarrassing and it's so shameful when you hear people saying it's a 2-horse race. It's a 2-horse race. Sorry, the track has got 8 horses, if we're going to call our leaders horses.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
so
you,
there are 8 of them. So I just felt, I've met all the other candidates and I have supported them. Okay. All right? I have supported Martha.
But this was
I have supported Ole Kayapi. But I sat down and I watched Peter and I watched the way he talked and I know about his achievements in his constituency. And I just thought to myself, let me go and see him. Let me give him a boost. All right? And then we got talking, and this was a week before nominations were closing, and basically that was it. Yeah.
Thank you. I have to cut this short because the other ladies have to join in and also get a one-on-one with you, so you can expand on that with the other two. We now take a short break. We'll be right back with more. Thank you.